Hey, Scott, do you know how you can discover the best craft brews in Music City?
I do. Nashville Brew Pass.
Bam! Nashville Brew Pass.
Yes. And Steve, I'm up to 8 stamps in here already.
You are rocking and rolling, buddy.
I'd have had a few more. I forgot it a couple of times, but I'll still go back and get them.
That's right. So tell us all about what are some of the benefits of Nashville Brew Pass.
Well, first, like I mentioned, when you go somewhere, you get it stamped. You know, it's
Yes,
kind of
you
a
do.
passport, right? And hey, I've been here. Secondly, there's a lot of bargains out there, and I'll give you a couple of instances. Broadcast Brewing and Homegrown Tap Room out in Donaldson. Buy one pint, get one free. I know,
Yes.
can't beat that. Monday Night Brewing. It's buy
Monday
one, get a.
night.
Yes, we love Monday night.
Love them.
You buy one, get a free token for a beer. So you're getting a free beer there. And then here's one of the best things, and I think I just discovered this or it's been in here. If you go to Rice Vice, and you and I have not been yet, you can get 20% off your first tab of proper sake at Rice Vice. How crazy is that?
20% off sake. I am there.
Yeah, I know. We got to get over there because we've had a little bit of sake, but we've not had enough. We're gonna go
That's right.
We're gonna go get our 20% off.
You can never have enough sake.
Never. By the way, if you order one of these from NashvilleBrewPass.com or go on their Instagram account and you use the code Brewery Underground Podcast,
yes,
you get $5 off.
$5 off, people. Come on.
I don't know why everybody doesn't have one.
I know it. I love Nashville Brew Pass. Again, go on NashvilleBrewPass.com, go on their Instagram page, and get one of these.
Yes, and it's free shipping all the time.
Well, you can't beat free shipping.
I've got a couple of things to help you remember to bring your Nashville Brew Pass with you if you want to hear them.
I have a feeling you do have some helpful tips. What are they?
Right, because I've forgotten it a couple times and I regretted it.
It happens, yes.
First thing I would suggest, and it's a no-brainer and pretty obvious, but keep it in the car.
Keep it in the car, maybe in your glove compartment.
Maybe in the glove compartment.
How
that
about
way,
that?
You don't forget it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's already with you. Here's another one, and this might be a little silly, but I think it could work. An accountability buddy.
An accountability buddy.
Yes.
Like a workout buddy.
A workout buddy who's always going to remind you.
That's right.
To bring your brew pass with you. And you designate it, maybe make it 3 or 4 people, who knows? But it can always make sure that you have your brew pass with you.
Or make sure you just stick it in your hand. That also is helpful too right. As you're going out the door.
Put it with your keys or your
That's
wallet
right.
or something, so it's always there. Here's one, and I think it'd be a little annoying, but I think it would be proven to work. You can set Siri up to remind you every time you leave the house to bring your Nashville Brew Pass. And then there is another thing that's cool. I actually looked this up today, and I think it works. You can set a location reminder in your phone. And anytime you get near a brewery, it'll remind you to bring your Nashville Brew Pass with
I
you.
love that. I may have to use that one.
That could be a little dangerous, too, at the same time.
That's right. Well, go on NashvilleBrewPass.com or go on their Instagram page now.
Bam!
Bam!
Down in the depths of this brewery scene, to Zachary and John, you know what I mean. Hoppin Frog brewing the flavors arise on the podcast underground where the passion rise. Hops in our hands and stories to share. Raise our glasses high, get toast to the air. Tales of the craft and folly of the fight. In every pour we find a light. Hoppin Frog stands proud. In the podcast underground alive.
And I want to talk about something, one of your beers. Scott and I have this discussion every once in a while when we're rating beers or we're doing a podcast and we're talking about some of our favorite beers. And a lot of it is you remember where you were when you had a particular beer, right?
Yeah,
so
cool.
You mentioned the stout. So I remember I had this beer at my house. I think I had somebody send this to me in a beer tray. The Evolutions of Boris the Crusher Chocolate Covered Strawberry, the Russian Imperial Stout, 9.4%. I'm sitting in my house and I'm drinking this and I'm going, oh my God. I mean, you talk about getting this right. Like, you talk about the chocolate covered strawberry where literally the strawberry is going down and you can taste the chocolate just like if you were actually doing a strawberry dipped in chocolate. And I'm like, wow, man, I could have this all day, and I'm going, oh my God, that's just awesome,
Thank you.
And again, I think that goes into, we love talking about the brewery experience, whether you go to a brewery or you're just drinking an individual beer and you remember it. and that's one that really stood. I mean, all the ones that I've drank from you guys have stood out for me, but that was one when you were just talking about styles, John, that really stood out for me.
I'm glad it
That's so
did,
cool.
and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We painstakingly make sure that if it says strawberry and chocolate on the beer label, you're going to taste strawberry and chocolate. I mean, we painstakingly make that happen because we are, I don't want to speak for Fred and Zachary, but I know in my heart of hearts that we can't stand it when we pick up a beer and it says something on the label and you're searching for it. You're like, wait, what? Wait, where's the...
I guess I
this or
taste
that?
strawberry. You're like, no,
Yeah.
no, that's not the way you brew.
And, and that's probably an added note to the conversation we were having earlier about the PB&J beers. I've had a couple of them over the last year or so where I'm going, now I love peanut butter, but I'm going, but I can't taste the peanut butter.
Oh,
All I'm tasting is the jelly. And if it's in a 16-ounce can, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, this is way too much. This would almost be too much on a flight if all I'm tasting is jelly. It's way too sweet for my palate.
it sounds like 16 whole ounces of disappointment.
Yeah,
It's like I got to spend the next half an hour trying to put
Like
this thing
shit.
down.
The first 2 ounces suck. Now I got to drink the rest of the 14.
Zachary, I don't know what you just poured, but it looked fantastic in that glass.
This is actually one of our head brewers creates Little Smokin' Toad. Whoop, sorry, the camera. Yeah.
Yummy.
Nice.
So it's a 5% very lightly smoked porter.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
delicious.
We can attribute
wish-
that to our head brewer Lee.
Yep.
That was his idea.
I wish
Fantastic.
I don't have a sniffer thing that everyone gets a chance to. But yeah,
Don't worry, AI will create that here very soon,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Right.
it's coming.
It's
We'll
coming.
we'll
It's
have
coming.
these
I'm signing up
4D
for it, too.
conversations.
So until then, I'll have to taste it and just tell you how good it is.
Well, what kind of smoky is it apple wood? I'm trying to imagine it. Cherry wood? I forget what they smoke it with.
Be more like I almost wonder if it's more.
Yeah, I think it might have been
I think it's
cherry
cherry
wood
wood.
smoked. Yep.
Yeah,
That's Brees malt for y'all.
Nice.
yeah.
I like that ABV on it too. That's nice,
Yeah,
right?
well,
That's new for us.
as some of these lower ones came, it was more because I think I mentioned it earlier, but our tasting room and our general manager that had mentioned a couple of times that, hey, it'd be nice if we had something that wasn't 8, 9, 10, 15%. So that when people come, maybe their friend or one of the people driving can at least have a beer. So after a while, it took him a while to convince us, and we're like, yeah, you know what, he's probably right.
We don't want to though.
Right. And really, the first one we dabbled on that was that Smashing Honey Blonde. When we made that blonde, a Smashing Honey Blonde, which I mean, really, we were, the plans were just to have it as something on tap in the tap room.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys heard about the pandemic back in 2020.
Something about it.
But that caused us to have to do something other than keg all of it, which then we ended up canning it and things along those lines. But then because of that, through distribution, we were able to enter it in the GABF and the World Beer Cup. And World Beer Cup had won a silver medal, and Fred and I were out in Colorado for the GABF. For whatever reason, decided to sit in the front row. I don't know why we did that. That was kind of silly on our part, but it was destiny because then the Honey Blonde won a gold, which was just awesome. I mean, just for a beer that we kind of created to make for our tasting room fan. Now it's distributed everywhere, and
So
it's a
the
great
next morning at the GABF, they send an email out to everyone who's participated, all 40,000 or what do they get, 10,000, 15,000 people a day.
Yeah.
So all these people got this email, and there were like 3 or 4 pictures on it. One of them was Zachary and I with our gold medal
Nice.
in the front row. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Your Smashing Pecan Blonde Ale was the very first Hoppin
that's
Frog beer that I ever had. And I can tell you, when I had it, I was hooked. I was like, I gotta have more of Hoppin Frog.
Yeah.
You guys hooked me. And we were saying earlier when we stopped in your tap room mid-May, because we were coming up there, we were going to go to Cleveland, Great Lakes, Masthead, and we had even said along the way, I said, while we're up there, I said, man, we have got to stop at Hoppin Frog. And we came in there for like an hour and a half, and we really wanted to stay longer. We were just on a road trip. But I'm so glad we did, because for me, it was like, it literally, I don't say this just to be joking around. It was a bucket list brewery for me to go to. having had your beer around here and having known, what the history was of you guys and how much beer I've had already. So, and I think Scott can say the same thing.
100%. And it was, we talked about it in one of the episodes, but it was raining so hard. So, I mean, we couldn't see the car in front of us. And it was like, if a car stops, we're all dead. It was one of those kind of things.
Right.
But like,
Oh my God.
but it was a welcome break too. All right, we're going to Hoppin Frog anyway. We're gonna ride this rain out, and we're gonna drink some beer. And it was perfect.
Nice.
I want to talk to you guys because I know you've mentioned it twice now, especially you, Zachary. How much has your business had to evolve and change, or has it had to change that much since 2020? Have there been a lot of changes for you guys in particular since that time?
I was going to touch on the fact that how has our business evolved? John mentioned just in general, but John mentioned the 22-ounce bombers. I mean, that if you had told me, heck, 10, 12 years ago that we would not be in bombers anymore, I would have laughed at you and left the play. But like, no, we're going to be in bombers forever. But that definitely obviously has changed. I think that the pandemic expedited the process by which we made that full transition. It actually gave us the opportunity to get our own canning line during that time frame. So, that's definitely something that changed.
Is that, not to interrupt, but is that where the 8-ounce cans kind of come into play? So you go the opposite direction in a sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Fine. We can't do 22s. We're doing 8s. We'll show you those. Show you.
Oh my God,
but yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, we got a canning line. Our tap room was closed for an extensive period of time. Some of that was by choice. I believe the word of the year was pivoted, and we pivoted and had online sales. We operated a drive-through delivery service to folks who made orders online. We were kind of doing everything you could to just kind of help keep things going until we got through it all. Staff, we unfortunately, with our tap room closed, some of our staff, we had to, lay off, and we had a couple people stay on just to help run that drive-through line at night. And if it wasn't for our fans and our followers and the people that have grown to love us, coming through, some, if not daily, weekly, we probably wouldn't all be sitting here today and having this conversation. But
it was great in a way because we had a lot of beer sales and virtually no cost other than the building.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a higher profitability, but it was just a weird time.
Yeah.
But we've also heard from other breweries, owners and breweries that, they pivot a little bit where maybe they're doing other lighter options now, maybe also some non-alcoholic beer or whatever. Do you guys feel any pressure to do that because you've been around for so long, you're like, we have that reputation. This is what people expect from us.
We are doing all the above. The ones that you mentioned, we have them on tap. So we've even tried seltzers, but those didn't taste that great. But we didn't put a whole lot of effort into it.
I think it's important to constantly
evolve. Fans to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zach.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying you got to constantly be evolving and adapting to what the market wants, what the customers are looking for. If you think you can just do the same thing every single day and you're not going to change, and you think everyone else is going to change to you, then you probably won't be operating for very long. I mean,
the trick is, and Zachary and I, we deal with pretty much all of our sales, and then I help guide our sales team out in the market. And, at the end of the day, yes, you always have to evolve. But I think that what you need to do and what we're very conscious of doing when we do anything new is always making sure that it has the Hoppin Frog flavor to it. I always tell people, dare to compare. Go ahead and take another oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout around 9%, put it next to ours. And I don't say this in a condescending, mean way. I'm just saying, go ahead and do this. Put them together, and I guarantee you'll taste the Hoppin Frog flavor each and every time. It goes back to what Fred was saying, right? It's about more ingredients. It's about creating this product where you don't want to lose your identity in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do cool things, but make sure they know it's Hoppin Frog, right? And so we've seen there are breweries that have chased trends, and then before you know it, they're closed or they've got issues or and you feel bad, it hurts. You don't want to see anybody go under. You want to see people do well, but you've got to be true to yourself too. And we've also noticed other trends in the market. We've noticed that people might not go out as much as they used to, or they want more of an experience, or they want, like you were saying, lighter beers or different beers. And we're adjusting to all those things, but we're doing it within the parameters of staying unique. Do you know what I mean?
You're true to yourself.
And we're not going to stop making the stuff that we also are known for making.
You got to make beer you love too. If you're just making beer for other people, in my opinion, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's what you want to know why I've been here for 14 years. Another part of it is because I love the beer we make. I mean,
and you know what? It's obvious that your formula is working. I mean, it really does, and that's really the great thing about it. I'll tell you, you talked about canning earlier, and the thing that really fascinated me when we were researching and looking on your website and different things is that you can in what is it? It's accurate on your website, I think. 22 states in 40 foreign countries. Is that right? The canning, the aspect of what you guys do
that we distribute to.
Yeah.
I mean, we have definitely are a global distribution company.
I really want to hear about how that has really taken off, especially globally in that many countries.
Isn't that crazy? We first got a request, I think it was November of 2007, really early on, for our beer from Sweden. And I kind of blew them off. I'm like, no, we can't sell to you guys. But then like the next month, I got another request from Denmark, and it was during Christmas. And I had just read an article less than 6 months before about Denmark being this hotbed of craft beer. And they were behind, the U.S. by 15 or 20 years, but they're just catching on and they're catching up and they're just loving the crap out of it. And this person from Denmark contacted me. We still work with him. He ended up buying beer from us beginning of 2008. And by the end of 2008, the beer that he had bought a bunch of, which was Boris the Crusher, it had 100 out of 100 rating on ratebeer.com. So he said, I wanted, 60 cases of that. And he bought a slew of other beers, but he bought a bunch of Boris, if I can remember. Like, once he got it, like 3 months later, we hit a gold medal with that, the GABF. So it's like, oh my gosh, and it's already overseas. So it got widespread distribution. Before you know it, we found ourselves in many states. So now I can say we've sold our beer as far east as Japan. Well, now it's China. And then as far west as Hawaii. We recently sold to Hong Kong, which is technically China. So boom. So we're around the world. Although it doesn't happen every year. I mean, we don't see our beer in these countries every year. We have made sales, around the world in the last 20 years. It's pretty cool.
We've talked to people and we talk about the distribution laws just between states, right? And like this state's better than whatever.
I don't have time to talk about that,
right? But you guys were like, okay, not only do we do that, hold my beer, we're going to ship it internationally. Here's a whole nother set of problems, I'm sure, in logistical stuff that came up. And
yeah, I mean,
that's why we got Zachary.
Is this your life, Zachary, or is it part of
my life? It's different. It's not, I don't want to say it's easier, but it's different. There's a couple of things that we work out with those other markets ahead of time that help make the process a little bit easier for us. So from that experience, I guess it makes it a little easier. Within the States, that's a whole nother set of challenges that continuously changes. I actually just read today about a state where there's a huge festival every single year, and there's some breweries that go there that don't distribute in the state normally, but go there every year, and it's going to cost them what used to cost them nothing is now going to cost them like $1,000 for that one day if they want to do that. And
get licensing, special licensing for the festival.
Right, and all of that kind of stuff. And it's, festivals are fun, but festivals aren't profitable for breweries. And so, it's going to impact those kind of things. And, there's registration and I get it. You want to have some like guidelines and things in place. So you don't want it to be like the Wild Wild West of everyone just throwing whatever out there. And then you got, dangerous product or things like that. But the same token, it's still a little archaic.
And we don't have to go down a rabbit hole, but with the distribution to other states, is ABV kind of the biggest thing, as in certain states won't allow certain ABVs?
There are some, yes. A lot of that has changed. There's I don't want to say benefit of COVID, but I mean, one of the things, some laws did get relaxed in some states. and that seemed to be the one that they kind of relaxed on a little bit. But there are some states out there that still have some limits. A lot of times ABV more impacts taxes than it does whether or not you're allowed to sell them.
Okay. Do you guys have to deal with that directly, or can you work with distribution and kind of let them bear some of that weight?
I thought we weren't going down the rabbit hole. No, I'm just kidding.
Which is a little side, just a little side.
No. I mean, obviously, we're not self-distributing in other states. I mean, as much as I'd like to go personally take beer to Hawaii once a month, that's probably not going to happen. But so we do work through distributors, and then it's within that partnership that you work together to figure out, who's going to be responsible for what. A lot of times that's dictated by the state. So, the distributor might have taxes that they have to pay on the product they sell, and then you don't, or you might pay the taxes and then the distributor doesn't, or in some instances, we all get to pay taxes. And in that aspect too. So it varies. And that's what makes it challenging is there's, 50 states and nobody has the same rules in regards to alcohol.
Right. And so when you are also dealing with other countries and
here we go with the distribution thing.
No, I'm at this is a different
rabbit hole.
This is a different question. I'm going down a different rabbit hole.
Okay.
No, I think this is a simpler one. When you're making the decision to send your beer to other countries, is it what you decide you're going to send to them? Do they request it? How do you make the decision of what you're going to send to them?
I guess that's a joint thing. I mean, we more kind of let them know what we would have available, and then they pick from what we have available.
We don't tell them everything available.
Yeah, some are very specific, and they be, hey, we only want X, Y, Z, and so okay, no, we try to be flexible and work with them. But, it's more of a if they like it, we have it, we'll find a way to make it happen.
And I think of the neat conversation that if I'm, working in your brewery, all three of you guys, if you're just sitting there and all of a sudden somebody comes in from a country like Denmark and said, hey, by the way, I saw you're kind of like us here in Tennessee. I was in Denmark and I saw Hoppin Frog and I wanted to come to America to actually come to your brewery.
That's happened.
I'm going to set you guys up with some stories.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely happened. I've been in the tasting room before when people have come through from other countries that tried our beer, had it in that country, and were planning a trip to the United States and purposefully, decided to come through Akron on their way to wherever they were headed. I mean, it happens
a lot.
It happens a lot.
Yep.
And every time it happens, you're just going. I mean, it's just wow.
Part of it is we used to be rated one of the 100 best breweries of the world year in and year out by ratebeer.com. It was 17 years running. So those who frequented ratebeer.com, which were the beer nerds around the world, they knew of Hoppin Frog. It wasn't just a couple years or 4 years or 6 years. It was 17 years running. So we were like one of the staples.
Fred, I want to really get your perspective on that as the owner, because you go back to 2006, as you said, you're selling beer basically from your car, trying to grow this brewery. And do you ever sit back and go, wow, I've got beer in other countries like Denmark, and people that come from Denmark to come to my brewery?
I haven't done that lately, but I should. Yeah, I have, of course, but it has been a while. I need to kick back and think about that. That's pretty amazing. I miss going to Denmark. That's what I think about. Love to go over there. That's pretty cool. Great experience going over there and brewing with those guys over there was one of the best experiences. I learned tons of stuff from them. But just being there and experiencing their culture was enough. It was just like amazing. But to learn stuff from them was just beyond.
It is cool though. Just somebody from another part of the world recognizes your brand. And sometimes, hey, we ship some stuff, right? Okay, somebody wants it, but then somebody comes in the tap room and it's a person. It's like, oh, you're real. You're not just a number. You're not just an account. We said you're a real person who actually really does appreciate it.
Yeah,
it really is endearing. It makes your whole week when something like that happens.
Not the same thing, but we had a guy reach out the other day who listens to us in Australia, and sometimes we see the numbers on Spotify and it says, hey, you got 0.001 listeners in this country, And this guy goes, I'm in Brisbane, Australia, and I'm driving down the road listening to your podcast. And he sent me a screenshot of his navigation system and our podcast on the thing. I go,
oh, that's awesome.
All right. That's cool. You know what I mean?
That is cool.
It was a real person. And I was like, all right, that's
a real person.
It was a real person.
You're global now. You're global.
We're in Australia too.
I keep making a joke. I keep making the joke on the podcast. We got Australia, but I've made the joke over the past few months. I want to get that Antarctica check-in.
There you go.
Well, I tell them the signal hasn't got to Antarctica yet. It's still on the way.
That's awesome.
They need beer down there, though, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have any.
God, if you were there, you'd need something.
They have to. Yeah, they're probably whiskey.
Well, you got to warm up from the inside.
Right.
I would think that would help. Well, your barrel aged stuff would do that.
For sure.
Yeah, that would do it.
Guys, can we talk about your tap room? Because you guys look like you have an awesome tap room. I mean, we've been in it, but you guys would talk about your events and things.
Oh, thanks.
I saw this. You guys just had the Greater Akron Beer Choir in the tap room. What is that?
It was awesome. I was there singing along with them. It was insane.
Solid.
It was so much fun. It was only a couple hours, and it was let me think. It was a couple. It was a guy and a gal. Looked like they had done it a bunch. Didn't want any money for it. They just wanted to come to the brewery and hand out hymns or hymnals or whatever they are, just booklets with all their songs. And they wanted microphones and they wanted to hook up for their keyboard. So they were a little bit of a show couple. They got there and sung a bunch of beer songs. We're singing along with them. They're playing keyboards. It was great. It was a big old party, and it was almost like, it was planned, but in a way it felt like it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It was cool. People really enjoyed it. It was a Friday after work, and people were carrying on. It was pretty cool.
Singing along. Were there like their songs that they had come up with, like beer songs?
Some were, some were
Yeah.
completely different ones that they had drummed up from other song parts, I imagine.
Yeah.
I think some were also beer songs that I just didn't know. I think that they were out there that they knew about and they had us singing too.
Or maybe they made up.
Yeah.
So they made up. And like a couple of them, you could tell they took lyrics from a normal song and changed it into a beer song, and that was fun. So in general, they were just, 2 hours of fun. It was really cool, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they had been offering for about a year or two, and I finally said, yeah, you got to come do this. What the hell? Why are we not doing it?
I would go for that, totally.
It was so cool. It was big fun.
What other events do you guys do with the tap room? Because on your website, you've got a whole bunch of stuff you guys do.
Man, the coolest one's coming up. What is it, August 23rd at Shandy Day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
huge one, man.
Shandy's.
Twice a year we do Shandy Day. That's like Christmas.
You guys do special shandies for that event?
Yeah, we usually have about 16 to 18 shandies on tap. And there's usually, every year I tell our head brewer, hey, just a couple is fine. Don't stress yourself out over it. But he usually ends up coming with like 4 or 5 special shandies just for Shandy Day.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
have to take those special recipes and register them with the federal government under the formulas and then under the labels. So it's a bit of a jumping through hoops.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, it's
But,
fun.
There's some good creations, and actually that's where we came with that mango cream pie he had this last time. We actually just made, usually we make them, and I mean some of them are just not capable of being mass produced, just for a variety of reasons. Usually it's cost, because he spares no expense on the ingredients. He's usually going all out, which is awesome. I mean, it's a way to kind of say thanks to everybody and to give all our Shandy fans something extra special and things along those lines. But we did make that mango cream pie smoothie, which was a huge hit, and we actually did make it. And I believe, if I could cue up Fred, I believe you got a can of it. Oh, I thought you had a can of it. Oh, I thought
But he
that
does. He does.
All right, take 2.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back to
There's
that.
some
no.
Jeopardy music coming in here.
There it is.
there it
Yeah.
is.
So
Yes.
that's what our first
Yummy.
packaged smoothie that we
That's
made. So
awesome. I saw your
Yeah.
post about that, Fred, too. And as soon as I saw it, I was
Yeah.
like, shit, I wish I could have that. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess
So
I'm opening
Shandy
this
Day,
one.
August 23rd. I mean, there's still time. You can, it's a Saturday. You could leave Friday night and be up, because you want to be here early, because we open at 11 and there's a line.
It's good.
Oh
I
yeah.
bet there is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Boom.
Look at
like-
that.
It's like ice cream
Is
in a
that a-
glass.
He's got a Hofbrauhaus glass.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
but the best.
I was in, so I was going to bring this up. I was in Germany in June, and there's a lot of Radlers on the menu. Is a Shandy and a Radler about the same thing? Is it the same thing?
I think of them in the same vein.
Yeah. Because
Ours
they're on
is just
every menu.
turbo.
Yeah, I swear to God, and I'm not kidding. We were at a restaurant, and there was this kid. He couldn't have been 10 or 12 years old in Germany, and he had a pour, and it looked like a beer.
It probably was a beer.
Yeah, it probably was. People, it probably was a beer or a Radler or a Shandy,
Yeah,
because they're like 3.8% or something. So I was
Yeah,
like,
they
that
go
kid is
down to
drinking a
almost
beer.
2 sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just part of their culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
God, that's
But I will
tasty.
say, yeah, Shandy Day's one of the biggest ones. That mango cream pie smoothie, that thing is insane.
Oh,
I will tell you that. And I mean, We do a lot of fun stuff. We have trivia on Wednesdays. We've got every Tuesday we have a beer infusion tower. We take a beer, we add some cool ingredients. People
I
can try
saw
it at the bar that day. I mean, we try to have something for everyone. Try to have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that tower Tuesday, and I was like, that looks incredible. What are some of the things that you infuse with?
I mean, they get pretty creative. Sometimes they do different, like, smoked teas. Sometimes they get mint, and sometimes they get chocolate in there. They've done crazy stuff with,
Jalapenos.
like, jalapenos. They've put bacon in there. I mean, it just depends on the beer. They come up with crazy stuff, you know,
Yeah.
and it's fun.
That is fun.
And it's
We-
just on Tuesdays, and it's
Yeah.
just at the bar. It starts at around 3. People come in, grab some. We're open earlier than that, but that's about when the tower comes out. So.
We've got some friends, and maybe you know them. They're Porch Beers USA. It's Keith and Coop. I don't know if you know those guys. They're out of Delaware.
Okay.
I
You
haven't
may
met
know-
them, no.
Well, anyway,
I
they
might recognize their faces.
probably will. They will drive when your blueberry
Yeah.
Oh,
turbo
boy.
shandy comes out. They go, the minute we know it's available, they will drive 7 hours from Delaware to your place to go get it. He said what they did that one time, and there was like one, I don't know if it was a case or whatever it was left.
Oh my God.
But it's
Oh, wait a
so,
second.
they love it so.
Are you talking about the state of Delaware?
Yeah, they're out
Not
of
Del- I
Delaware.
was thinking Delaware, Ohio for some reason.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're
Oh,
talking
You
about.
probably do.
Because I
Keith and
remember
Coop.
someone talking about coming from Delaware.
That's
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They love that shandy so much.
We've got to make sure we hook them up, man.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Porch Beers USA. That's our buddies there.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
see,
that's
I always
funny.
have an extra case, so.
Yeah. You didn't hear that here though.
No.
Everyone's got to hit up Fred. Hey, I hear you have an extra case. Well, I already gave it away the first person I asked.
You guys should have got here 6.5 hours ago.
Oh,
Right.
man. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what do you guys, if anything, do you have any expansion plans in the future? I mean, you're at that location in Akron. Is there any plans for expansion there, anywhere else? Anything that you can talk about on the podcast? Any breaking news that you want to tell us?
There's
Exclusive.
nothing solidified, but we sure would like to. I mean, I don't know how much we want to.
Right. I mean, I guess it's always. I mean,
Elaborate.
that's always something that worth considering to look at. But there's so many factors that fall into there. If it's the right place at the right time, then it makes
Sure.
sense. I don't think we would say no, but I mean that's kind of where we're at. I mean, our brewery itself is, where it's at is expanded about as much as it can expand.
Yeah.
So I could say I don't think there'll be any expansion plans there. But if other opportunities in the area were to present themselves, we definitely would consider them for sure.
Am I
Okay.
right at that location where you have your brewery, you also do the brewing there and you do the packaging and shipping there at the same location?
Yes. We have one location, one address, one location. So we have our brewery, and then the canning area is attached to the next unit from there, and the next unit's kind of like our storage, and we have a warehouse cooler, and then the next one's the tap room that you guys all had a chance to kind of hang out in and enjoy. And then the next room from there is our, a little more extra seated where our barrel room is, and then some storage space in the back and that. And then we utilize some other units for storage, but we're all in that central spot, which is nice because everything is like right there. So that's like one of the things you got to consider if you're like, oh, let's open up another spot. Then it's like, well, we got to go back and forth all the time. So, I mean, there's so many things that keep in mind, but
You got to make enough
we'll see.
beer for the other place and stuff.
Right.
and-
I
yeah,
mean,
it's-
right. It sounds fun, but the actual implementation and operation and that can be challenging. And at the same time, we don't want to lose what we've got by being overly focused on something else or distracted, or when you stretch yourself too thin. That's where we've seen some of our brethren have some challenges, and so you
Yeah.
got to be mindful of that.
Like the character of the whole outline when we went in there. I mean, the character of all of it, I thought was just cool, and the frogs out and the front and all of it. And, as you were talking about it, we were talking about the expansion into other countries earlier. Has that meant more expansion inside your shipping areas and stuff like that too over the years? Has that changed at all?
I mean, I guess a little bit. I mean, the biggest thing I think from expansion point has been just adding additional fermenters. So just so we can have more tank space and have more beer being in process at the same time. And that that first expansion is really how John, myself, Lee, 15 years ago when Fred started getting some additional tanks, that's when it was like, okay, he needed some additional help. And that's kind of where we came aboard. And then probably 5 years or so after that, we added the last round of tanks that we put in just to kind of help make sure that we have the capacity we need to continue to grow into the future. And we're not maxed yet. So, I mean, we have opportunities of growth, and, we operate one shift with, we have 3 brewers, one shift. There's ways that you can expand without having to add on more stuff if you really wanted to. But we're looking more just to continue to put out a great product and kind of naturally grow, not do anything like so crazy, especially in this climate, right? I mean, the craft brew industry has changed and evolved, and having this massive, huge brewery doesn't necessarily make sense these days.
When your growth is more organic and not debt heavy, you get the chance to, as we were talking about earlier, produce some of the beers you want to make too, along with the market trends. You're not just beholden to, we have to pump out beer whether it's great or not, and we got to get sales. Everyone needs sales, don't get me wrong, but you have more control over what your brand's going to be rather than, holy crap, hang on to my seat, let's get it all out there.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said about that as well.
You're kind of dictating what you're doing, in a sense, what you can produce and what you want to produce, in a sense, because having those additional fermenters in the canning line has got to be helpful, right? Because, and I know this, you can store stuff in the fermenters if you need to, or if you need that fermenter, you just go ahead and can it when it's ready, right? And so you can free up that stuff too. So it's part of what you're talking about.
The biggest benefit or the biggest addition that we added was when we added the canning line. It made that transition to all cans and not 22-ounce bottles. So to put in perspective, what took us essentially 7 days, like a full week, and 6-7 days to bottle at that time, we can now can in a day. I mean, when you look at that, just being able to empty the tanks, that was the biggest hang up for us, was, well, our tanks are full, we can't put any more beer in, and our tanks are full because we can't package it fast enough. Well, you got rid of that pinch point in the whole process and opened it up, and so now it allows us to have more flexibility
and keep moving it through.
Having our own canning line versus, we did start out with a mobile canning company, which was great because it was a great way to go, okay, is this going to actually work and make sense before we invested something? But that was still challenging too, because you had to coordinate with them and what day of the week it worked with them to be able to come. I mean, there's so much where now it's like we control the whole part of the process. And so not only are we ensuring that every step of the process is under our domain for quality and care, but then we can also, if we need to only put out 10 barrels, we can do a small batch or small run if that's what we need to do, or we can do a large run. We kind of dictate all that.
Hey, and I do want to add something about your cans and can art, and we've talked about can art with other breweries. The one thing, and probably because of the frog, but Hoppin Frog certainly stands out too on the can. But I love it how easy it is to spot your cans when you go into a place, and I think that is so important, because you can go into a place and you're going, okay, wait a minute, where am I? I can't find this beer. I can't find this beer. Hoppin Frog. Right in front of me.
Right.
Yep.
I've hoped for that for a long time. That's what I was trying to do. I mean, I got into this really early on, and that's one of the focuses that I've had, is I want to be recognized on the shelf within a quarter second. You're looking at 1,000 or 600 beers. I want you to say, oh, wait, I want your eye to just automatically stop. I've seen that before. What is that? That's something of interest. So thank you. That's what I was hoping. That's why we haven't changed the logo. And there was pressure to change the logo, from internal pressure, because you get so used to seeing the frog face. It's like, let's update this shit. So we finally did it. We did all the work. And then I had I'll just describe this person as a very senior marketing person ask me, why in the world would you be doing that? Is there something wrong with your brand? Like, well, no. Yeah, we just want to update it. And they described that to be a common feeling with businesses. It's just the way things are. But you got to look at your brand, and if there's a problem with it, then you need to change the logo. But if not, then you should continue to use it. So that's nice to hear that you still recognize our stuff after nearly 20 years being on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a great comparison, but it would almost be like McDonald's saying, let's just change our arch. Well, why the heck would you want to do that? It's been the same things for decades. So
yeah, because everyone's fighting for business, whether it be McDonald's or us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, to your point, I knew in the liquor store where these were, but they have and these were on like on the warm shelf, right? They were on the other side. They weren't in the cooler, but they had some in the cooler. And I know I can go to the cooler where they have singles and scan up and down really quickly to find yours. It's very easy. Like, I know they got some over here. Boom, got it.
Awesome.
That's
Nice
good
to hear.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, that
absolutely.
It helps a lot because a lot of times we move forward with these ideas that I have, and a lot of them are antiquated. So I need to at least being able to figure out whether they're actually still working or not. Because a lot of my ideas I recognize are old school and they need to be updated.
Yeah.
Fred, I'd like to ask you this, and because we asked these guys early on kind of about their work environment stuff. How important is your team to you and for what they do in the brewery and to the success of the brewery?
How could I possibly answer that any differently? I mean, my gosh, they're essential. You can't do what we're doing without them. I mean, they are the business. I could go away and things would still keep going. So yeah, they're essential. Can't do it without them. Yeah, I mean, how can you put it any other way?
Right. The longevity you guys have had coming up on 19 years is a testament to all of you guys and your whole team.
Well, I was gonna say, and yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
not. There's there's many that are not have the opportunity to be on the screen, if you will, and talk about this. But it's a team effort. It truly is. There's ideas and things that come up, but it's everyone working together to make sure that the goal is met and the vision is exceeded, and everyone takes great satisfaction and pride in hearing when people say, "Oh my gosh, I love your beer," or I had so much fun in the tasting room last night, so and so was great, or whatever the case may be. I mean, it means a lot to everyone, and they come to work every day with great pride and things along those ends, and it's definitely a team effort for sure.
Well, hopefully when this podcast comes out, they can listen to it and hear that they're being recognized, because really it's one of our goals when we started this podcast to champion breweries, to talk about what you guys do and the great work that you're doing, and our experiences and our adventures as well. So we certainly appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
That's great. That's
totally
a great
big
goal to
fans of
have.
you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I know we're winding down. Is there anything we didn't cover or anything you guys want to talk about or plug or anything coming up, or maybe like Steve said earlier, maybe some some inside information about something coming down the road or that some exclusives?
Gosh, you put us on the spot there.
And the answer could be
I just want to make sure we don't all give away a different secret.
yeah.
No. Hey, I just want to say thanks for having us. I mean, if it wasn't obvious, this is my first podcast I've been part of, so this has been this has been fun, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but I really appreciate you guys taking the opportunity, or taking the time, I should say, to give us the opportunity to just kind of share a little bit about us. And thanks for coming to our tasting room. Hopefully we'll see you again. Shandy Day, August 23rd. There you go, a little plug. Or if you're interested, we have a clam bake that'll be at the end of September. But yeah, so just thanks, and thank everyone who's tried our beer. And if you haven't, please give us a try. Let your taste buds be the judge.
That's 100%.
Well put. Yes.
Drink the beer you love. I can't say that to people enough. And I appreciate what you guys are doing by humanizing the industry in a way. And so to get people to see the people behind the things they love, to make that human connection, and they'll go back and go, yeah, that is amazing beer. And I appreciate what those guys are doing, and we appreciate our fans more than you know. I mean, our sales guys in the field all the time, we are known as the brewery that is the easiest to work with. We will bend over backwards for our vendors, our distributors, for people out there really trying to spread the love, because we believe in this product. I mean, this stuff, what we do, like Fred said earlier, I mean, we're selling happiness, and we want people to be happy.
There you go.
Thank you guys for what you're doing.
Well, thank you for that, and it's really an honor for all three of you guys to even want to come on. It's a big deal to us too. So we really appreciate you guys being with us.
No problem.
Gosh.
Look,
Totally
we're just a couple of beer drinkers. We're nobody. I'm telling you, we're not professional. We just drink beer, and we travel around, and we go to places, and we just like to talk about it.
But you know what? You're our fans, and that means a lot.
That's it.
So thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for that. That's
funny. We don't think of ourselves as much different. I mean, we're just beer drinkers too, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
We just sometimes get to drink the beer first. I mean, that's really the biggest difference, right? And we're only doing that to make sure that it's the absolute best by the time you get the chance to try it.
Right,
So,
right.
Quality
We have a
control.
responsibility.
Right. You have to have You can't put any crappy stuff out there. You got to have that quality control.
Exactly.
When it gets to the
Tough
masses.
job, but someone's got to do it.
It is. We don't drink all day, but we do drink.
Yeah.
Just part of the job description.
Guys, I'm going to raise my beer to you all. Thank you for a great night.
Cheers.
Thank you for a great brewery experience when we came to Hoppin Frog, and to many more to come. And thanks for being on our podcast tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
We're even bigger fans now.
Hoppin Frog Brewery on the Brewery Underground podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers to great beers.
Cheers.